Good News for People Who Love Bad News is the fourth full-length album recorded by alternative rock band Modest Mouse. Jeremiah Green, who played drums on all other Modest Mouse releases, did not perform on this album due to his temporary absence from the band. The album was released by Epic Records on April 6, 2004 on both CD and 180-gram vinyl. It was re-released on DualDisc on October 11, 2005. The first two singles from the album were Float On, and Ocean Breathes Salty, both of which debuted on American radio stations in the first half of 2004. The vinyl and DualDisc editions of the album also contain the B-side I've Got It All. On the vinyl edition, the track is placed at the end of the album. On the DualDisc edition, it is placed between Bury Me With It and Dance Hall. The song Bukowski is dedicated to the late poet Charles Bukowski. The song The Good Times Are Killing Me was originally going to be released as the normal mix, but instead they added the one mixed by the Flaming Lips. The Dirty Dozen Brass Band appear also on tracks 1 and 9 or 10 on the DualDisc edition. A video for The World at Large was also on the DualDisc. It is called Stiff Animal Fantasy. It was Planet Sound's #1 album of 2004. It was also nominated for a Grammy in 2005 for Best Alternative Album. The album was certified platinum by the RIAA in August 2004. As of March 19, 2007, it had sold 1,509,675 copies in the United States. The album's title comes from a line in the song Bury Me With It. Reception: the album has a score of 83 out of 100 from Metacritic, earning universal acclaim. Tiny Mixtapes gave the album all 5 stars and said that ultimately, what makes Good News so successful is that it retains the melancholy mood of past works, while at the same time adding depth and maturity. Spin gave it an A and said it was half expansive, burnished radio rock, half swampy Delta hoodoo hollerin' that reeks of Brock Southern Sojourn. Filter gave it a score of 92% and said that it would soon be one of the best albums of 2004. NME gave it a score of 9 out of 10 and called it a real-life pop record. Well, not pop in the Girls Aloud sense of the word obviously, more in the drop-dead, fuzzbox brilliant Here Comes Your Man sense. Billboard gave it a favorable review and called it a daring yet accessible disc. The New York Times also gave it a favorable review and called it the best Modest Mouse album yet. E! Online gave it a B+ and said that if there's a touchstone band for this album, it's Little Creatures era Talking Heads cranking out songs that are joyously eccentric, celebratory and catchy. Play Louder gave it 4 stars out of 5 and stated, "It just feels that amidst his bare and heartfelt explorations of life and the old wooden box wherein we all end up, Brock has learned to dance, learn it to allow himself a smile." Mojo gave the album 4 stars out of 5 and said that moments of simple, exultant joy are plentiful. Q also gave it 4 stars out of 5 and said that the album consisted of 45 bonkers minutes. Alternative Press likewise gave it 4 stars out of 5 and stated, "If Good News isn't the pillar-like masterpiece Modest Mouse fans have waited years for, it's proof that things haven't completely fallen apart." Dusted gave it a favorable review and called it a more varied album than The Moon and Antarctica, and with the return of original member Dan Galecki, Brock appears to have revived the heavy lead guitar playing of their early work. The AV Club also gave it a favorable review and stated, "The songs still rely on Brock's echoing guitar patterns and Mobius strip lyrics, delivered in the voice of a harried, hip-hop-inflected square dance caller, but though the vehicle stays the same, the scenery outside the window changes considerably." Noom.net gave it a score of 7 out of 10 and said, "While the album is not as cohesive a vision, many of its songs are more focused." The Austin Chronicle gave it 3.5 stars out of 5 and said, "No bad news here, just more headline making from an innovative, ever-maturing group of musicians." Yahoo! Music UK gave it a score of 7 out of 10 and said that at these transcending moments, Good News is elevated into excellence. But overall, there is too much mouse that bores and not enough mouse that roars. Almost Cool gave it a score of 6.75 out of 10 and said that probably the biggest complaint could be that the group has tightened up their sound even more on this release, leaving behind even more of the roughshod qualities that made their earlier discs blister with such energy. Other reviews are very average or mixed. The Guardian gave the album 3 stars out of 5 and called it a useful addition to a genre that prizes brain over brawn. Blender also gave it 3 stars out of 5 and said that, Brock is adept at wringing out emotion while straddling sentimentality, but too often here, gauche studio affectations make his sap sound plain cheap. Nude as the News gave it a score of 6 out of 10 and stated, a lot of major label-imposed ideas, like rhythm guitar and a heartbreakingly conventional new bass sound, combined to utterly ruin the record's first half. If you can make it through to News innards, however, an EP's worth of something like better recorded, more thought-out Lonesome Crowded West material awaits. Stylus magazine gave the album a C and said of Modest Mouse, gone is pretty much everything the unregistered trademark they learned in the last 8 years or so, ditching all the progress the unregistered trademark they made in favor of just making another Modest Mouse record. The results, needless to say, are disappointing. Uncut gave it 2 stars out of 5 and said that there are some pleasantly elaborate, wayward songs here. Forays into funk and Tom Waits' Scrapyard are cringe-inducing, though. Track listing, all songs written and composed by Isaac Brock, Dan Galicki, Eric Judy, and Benjamin Weichel. Notes the B-side I've Got It All is included between Bury Me With It, and Dance Hall on the DualDisc edition of the album, and as the last track on the vinyl release. DualDisc, all tracks in Dolby Digital, videos for Float On and Ocean Breathes Salty, Stiff Animal Fantasy videos, photo galleries, interview, website blips. Track information, horn intro a Euro 009, The Dirty Dozen Brass Band, horns. The World at Large a Euro 432, Isaac Brock, vocals, Rhodes, whistle, piano, Eric Judy, acoustic guitar, percussion, Dan Galicki, guitar, mellotron, timpani, percussion, Benjamin Weichel, drums. Float On a Euro 328, Isaac Brock, vocals, guitar, Eric Judy, bass, Dan Galicki, guitar, keyboards, drum loops, Benjamin Weichel, drums, The Rising Star Fife and Drum Band, additional drums. Ocean Breathes Salty 345, Dig Your Grave 012, Bury Me With It 349, Dance Hall a Euro 257, Isaac Brock, vocals, guitar, Eric Judy, bass, Dan Galicki, guitar, piano, glockenspiel, keyboards, Benjamin Weichel, drums. Bukowski a Euro 414, Isaac Brock, vocals, banjo, Eric Judy, acoustic guitar, Dan Galicki, guitar, Benjamin Weichel, drums, Tom Peloso, stand-up bass, Dennis Herring, accordion. This Devil's Work Day a Euro 219, Isaac Brock, vocals, banjo, The Dirty Dozen Brass Band, horns. The View a Euro 413, Isaac Brock, vocals, guitar, HENDX 3000, Eric Judy, bass, Dan Galicki, guitar, keyboards, mellotron, Benjamin Weichel, drums. Satin in a Coffin a Euro 235, Isaac Brock, vocals, banjo, Eric Judy, pump organ, Dan Galicki, guitar, Benjamin Weichel, drums, Tom Peloso, stand-up bass. Interlude a Euro 058, Eric Judy, pump organ, Dan Galicki, guitar, Marlo Chaska Judy, vocals, Tom Peloso, stand-up bass. Blame It on the Tetons a Euro 524, Isaac Brock, vocals, guitar, Eric Judy, bass, Dan Galicki, piano, Benjamin Weichel, drums, Tom Peloso, fiddle. Black Cadillacs a Euro 243, Isaac Brock, vocals, guitar, Freak Beak, Eric Judy, bass, Dan Galicki, guitar, piano, Benjamin Weichel, drums. One Chance a Euro 304, Isaac Brock, vocals, guitar, Eric Judy, bass, Dan Galicki, guitar, Benjamin Weichel, drums. The Good Times Are Killing Me a Euro 416, Isaac Brock, vocals, baritone guitar, Eric Judy, acoustic guitar, backup vocals, tin whistle, Dan Galicki, pump organ, backup vocals, The Rising Star Fife and Drum Band, drums, The Flaming Lips, Additional instrumentation. Personnel. Modest Mouse Isaac Brock vocals, guitar, banjo, baritone guitar, ukulele, piano, Rhodes, HENDX 3000, whistle, Freak Beak, Eric Judy bass, acoustic guitar, backup vocals, pump organ, mellotron, tin whistle, percussion, Dan Gallagher guitar, keyboards, piano, backup vocals, mellotron, drum loops, pump organ, timpani, percussion, glockenspiel, Benjamin Weigler drums, The Rising Star fife and drum band drums, Tom Peloso stand-up bass, fiddle. Additional personnel Dennis Herring harmonica, The Dirty Dozen brass band horns, Marlo Chaska Judy vocals, The Flaming Lips additional instrumentation. Art and design Art and design, Houston. Chart positions. Album singles References. External links, Good News for People Who Love Bad News at Metacritic.